What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning back into Unbreakable Grind, man. So the topic right now is how to become a millionaire through real estate investing. I'm going to be analyzing a video by Bigger Pockets. I want to let you know that I've used a lot of Bigger Pockets videos in the past, in a lot of their website blogs and stuff in the past to learn a lot about real estate investing. I give them the utmost credit for what they do because they have helped me out a lot. My purpose of doing this kind of review of this video is to kind of give you some of the mindset that I have when I watched these videos years ago, and try to fill in some of the gaps that a lot of you are probably falling into that's going to prevent this knowledge from being useful and applicable. Okay, so when I used to hear this stuff, I really wanted to apply it, but it was impossible because I wasn't in a position to apply it. So it almost rendered this useless to a certain extent, at least at that point in my life. I also have seen many people who were in the same spot as me never reach a point where they ever could use this information because they were missing the fundamental building blocks that makes this even useful. When this is great information, but they never had the prerequisites checked off or figured out how to check off the prerequisites to get to the point where they can do things like this. Okay, so I'm hoping that I can help that young, ambitious person out there that's probably looking at stuff like this video that I'm going to show you, and they're still feeling intimidated, like they can't even start because they can't put the proper steps in place to even do what he's saying. All right, so let's get right into it, guys. Start the video.
By owning rental properties. And hey, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to click that little thumbs up button below the video. It really helps make sure more people are reached with this message. So with that, let's first get a little bit of clarification on how this works, this real estate thing works.
And this video is titled How to Become a Millionaire Through Real Estate Investing. Okay, I think a bit of the clip was knocked off at the beginning.
First of all, we're talking about buying rental properties, which means you buy a house or maybe a duplex or an apartment building, whatever, and you rent it out. Now, before I walk you through the math behind becoming a millionaire through real estate, I actually want to get us all on the same page or the same board as to the fundamentals about owning rentals and why they're so powerful. And to do that, we're going to talk about something called the 4 wealth generators. The 4 wealth generators. Did I spell that right? Sure. All right, so these are the 4 things that really make owning rental properties so awesome, and when they're combined together can make you a millionaire. Now, I talk about these a lot more in depth in my book, the book on rental property investing, which you can get on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever, biggerpockets.com/rental book. But hey, let me give you them right now, the quick and dirty on the 4 wealth generators. Number 1 is going to be cash flow. So the first thing, cash flow. That's the extra money every month that a property produces in profit. It's income minus expenses. The key to that, though, is understanding expenses because they're kind of tricky, right? Make sure you get all the expenses when you calculate it, but basically, this is just the money you're left with in your pocket at the end of every month. Now, number 2, appreciation. This is basically the simple truth that real estate tends to climb over time in value. Now, sure, things like 2008 do happen and prices do drop, sometimes a lot, but over time, prices tend to climb. As long as you can hold onto a property long enough, you should always see appreciation.
So when I used to be watching these kinds of videos, as you can see, this is very easy to digest. And it's you get very excited when you're watching stuff like this because you're usually an ambitious person to even end up on these videos. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure out how you're going to actually engage the world and be successful and accumulate wealth. And these points are simple, but I always used to feel like I was left in a spot of like ambiguity. And I felt like there's a bit of ambiguity kind of in how I actually do any of it. And yeah, you know, and I know a lot of you feel like that too. I've seen people never recover from that. We'll keep going though.
That's why cash flow, which we just talked about a second ago, is so vital, right? Because as long as I'm making cash flow, I can hold on to it as long as I need to, waiting for the property to climb in value. Now, number 3, the loan pay down. Now, normally, when you buy a piece of real estate, you get a loan from a bank, which you then pay every month. But the cool thing is, over time, the loan then gets paid down, which means you might start owing, let's call it 200 grand, but eventually you'll own nothing, right? So the loan starts here, and over time, tends to drop on what you owe it. And number 4, the fourth wealth generator, tax benefits.
All right, and those are the, let me try to skip forward to some of the financial examples here.
Way to finance it, and you're able to do it with no money down, which is, by the way, is entirely possible. In fact, we've got a ton of content on Bigger Pockets all about that. Heck, I even wrote a book on it. But anyway, let's say you bought that house. Here's our cute little house, and even 3-dimensional house, because I'm fancy. You bought that house for 100 grand, and you put down 20%. So you bought it for the $100,000 value. You put down 20%, which is $20,000 down. That's a horrible dollar sign. Meaning you're left with an $80,000 loan, or mortgage as we call it. Now, because you bought a property that has cash flow, the first wealth generator, let's say you're also now, at the end of the day, you're making $200 every month in cash flow, which is
okay, I'm gonna stop here. I'll tag this video so you guys can see the whole thing. I won't listen to everything, okay? But what's happening right here is he's breaking down a very, very basic example as to how acquiring a house works, okay? You put $20,000 down on a $100,000 house. You've got an $80,000 loan. Then he's going to kind of demonstrate principal pay down to you. So I won't even let him break that down. It's going to make sense. What he's going to describe is going to make a lot of sense. The problem is that I believe there's a significant amount of viewers that can't relate to that 20,000. All right. There's a very significant amount of people that when they see that 20,000, it just ruins the whole lesson. All right. And I know this is just for example. You can get houses for less than this price and stuff like that. But there's usually a very big problem, guys, with trying to jump in on content like this. OK, and the problem is that if you're a young person or a person that doesn't have a healthy income, you probably won't benefit from this type of content as much. You really should take a step back and try to evaluate your income. Okay, try to evaluate your income solely on fulfilling the need in the job market. Okay, that's where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get you guys to realize that when you're starting from scratch, okay, when you're starting from scratch, you want to make your initial money. Okay, you want to make your initial money by working jobs that are a high demand, high value in the marketplace. I know I might have people that argue against this, or some people might have alternate perspectives, but hear me out. All right. So the reason you want to do this is because you need a way. See, there's a big misconception, right? The name of this video is How to Become a Millionaire Through Real Estate Investing. All right, that's the name of the video. People are coming to this video expecting to learn to become a millionaire. Okay, so they're like, hey, I don't know a way. I don't really know how to be a millionaire. This is a legitimate way. Starting from where I am, this is a legitimate way. And I'm here to tell you that if you're starting from scratch, this is not the most legitimate way. All right. I understand there are ways to finance without cash and yada, yada. But you don't want to, if you don't have income, you shouldn't finance your way into a deal in hopes of becoming a millionaire. There's too much room for error. Okay. So first, I want you to understand that if one convinces you that you can go into these type of deals with no money, as a person who's broke, you shouldn't do it. Okay, you're setting yourself up to, you're subjecting yourself to a crazy amount of risk for no reason. All right, and you have a bigger problem. You're actually broke, and you can't take on any risk while you're broke. All right, and then also, if you're broke, you can't make these kind of down payments. So where am I going with this? Okay. Like I've said in my other videos and many videos, and I'm going to continue to say it because I've done it and I've seen it work. I've seen it work for many people, but who do it. It works for just about everyone I know who does it. Honestly, it works for everyone I know that has done it. It works for everyone that has done it. I haven't seen it fail yet. I've seen people try every alternative. I've seen them try to finance deals early. I've seen people try to go out and take a leap of faith in industry, in business deals. I've seen people try to go to startups and take a leap of faith in their own ideas. I've seen people pursue their music dreams. I've seen all kinds of stuff, man. I've seen people do a lot of things. But one thing I've never seen fail, ever, and I don't think I ever will, and I think the data's there to back me up, is if you go into a high demand, high value field, meaning you simply Google what are the highest demand jobs now and the highest demand jobs in the future, next 10 years. Alongside that, Google what are the highest paying jobs now and the highest paying jobs in the next 10 years. Finding a job that is on both of those lists is what you must do. Please listen to me. Okay, so this video is called How to Become a Millionaire Through Real Estate Investing. Okay, the whole idea of becoming a millionaire, okay, you don't have to subject yourself to any risk, almost any risk, to make $1 million. That's something I didn't understand, and no one directly taught me growing up. I thought that millionaires had to do insane thing, have an insane, an amazing idea. I thought they had to kind of have a groundbreaking freaking idea, just come from just something amazing. I just thought, man, it was kind of like a fairy tale of an idea to be a millionaire. I thought something amazing had to happen. I never knew until I did the steps myself that becoming a millionaire was trivial. $1 million is a trivial goal. Every single one of you that listen to what I say will make $1 million in a very short period of time. If you're starting at 18, you'll be a millionaire by 28, guaranteed. Okay? Every one of you can do this. I believe if you're of average intelligence and you work your butt off. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you listen to what I'm saying, find a high demand, Google the high demand jobs, Google the high paying jobs. Follow the market. Go to school. You have to understand college and school, guys. College and school. Let me make this larger. College and school, your career. Though the purpose of that is not, you're not going to college for a career that you expect to do for the rest of your life. That's a misconception. Okay, you've been misinformed. Okay, your career, what you go to college for, it's your way of gaining money so that you can fund what you really want to do, fund your passions. If they overlap, that's fine. Stop mixing your career, which is the thing that which is the tool you're going to use and the skill set you're going to use to make certain and guaranteed amounts of money, certain and guaranteed high values of money. That's what your career is. It's your tool for making guaranteed money in the industry and lots of it. because you've acquired a skill set that the industry needs. Not what you want, but you've acquired the skill set that the industry needs. You have to understand me, right? Like, you have to understand me when I say that your career needs to be what the world needs. It needs to be what the industry needs. People need to need it. Like, you entrepreneurs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they need to need you. What is preventing them from making money? They need to need you, right? So me personally, I chose technology. I chose software engineering, software architecture, things like that. Because all of these tech companies are being built up. They're making crazy amounts of money. Industries are being taken over by technology, revolutionized by technology. And guess what? Guess what they need? They need people to implement software, to implement new technologies. There are millions of jobs, millions of $100,000 plus jobs wide open. All you have to do is stick to it, man. You're taking no risk. Guys, you've got to stop letting mathematics. I've seen people change their career paths because they didn't want to take math. I've seen people change their entire course path and career path to avoid math. Guys, you cannot let, if you're a young person looking at this, or you're someone about to go to college, or you're someone that has been convinced that college is a waste of time, trust me, if you go and find the highest demand, Google high demand jobs, Google high paying jobs. If you get something on both of those lists, so example, data science, software engineering, software developer, most stuff in the tech world, man, DevOps, freaking nursing is a good one. If you want to go more into the medical field, nursing can make you a pretty good amount of money also. Stuff like that, guys, if you trust me, what you're going to do is you're going to use that guaranteed money to make your first million. Then you're going to start doing the stuff that's in these videos. See, this you have to understand. Like, take me for example. I used to watch these videos as I was going through engineering school. Everything was great, but I just couldn't relate fully. But after I got out of engineering school and I had my stuff set up and I was making 120K, I'm like, oh, 100K property, fine. That's just 20K of my 120. The first year I was out, I was making 120. Oh, that's just 20K. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, this is simple. Now I feel like he's talking to me. Now I feel like I'm the guy he's talking to. I feel like I'm the guy that should be applying this knowledge that he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And these things become way simpler. So understand, right? If you do what I'm saying, if you just save that money, if you come out of school making 100K or roughly 100K, you're making $1 million before taxes. If you don't ever learn to be an entrepreneur. Okay, in a 10-year span, if you're making 100K, that's 100K before tax. I mean, that's $1 million before taxes, because you're making $100,000 each year. Now, if you're working on your skills, honing your skill set, do you understand that your salary will be increasing often? Right? You can do tricks. I've got plenty of tricks in order to get your salary to increase faster. Okay, I can make videos on those, but it's very realistic by year 5. To have your money be making 150K plus. You can do better than that, but I know that these are goals you can hit. And the reason I say this, guys, is because you're gonna have to put the work in. You have to. I haven't figured out a way to not put the work in. But what you want to do is make sure that when you put the work in, the result is guaranteed. There cannot be room when you're starting from nothing for error. There can't be room for failing. I'm telling you that first million, man, it has to be guaranteed. Okay, guaranteed. It can't be a leap of faith. It can't be it can't be hoping for anything. It needs to be the industry needs this. It needs it. And when the industry needs it, the industry doesn't care if it's a monkey that can do it, a freaking giraffe, a freaking gorilla, a dog, a cat, a black person, a white person, an Indian. They don't care. But the industry needs certain skills so bad that if you have them, they will pay you. You have to understand this. This seems like an obvious concept, but it's not obvious because I've watched many people go and pursue careers that the industry doesn't need. And then they wonder, how come I can't get a job? Because I need experience before I get the job, but I need the job to get experience. And all of these are signs that you didn't listen to what the industry needs. Okay? And if you Google those lists, like I told you, you're going to thank yourself. I'm telling you guys, I'm doing very well from simple concepts. Your first million is guaranteed. Then you start doing stuff like this, or in process of saving that million, you start investing in the S&P 500. You take 20 grand and buy the $100,000 hypothetical house. You get what I'm saying? You make some investments into some cryptocurrencies. You see what I'm saying? But you have your base foundation. You're a millionaire regardless anyway. Don't say like I'm seeing people do, how can I be a millionaire? Oh, let me just do a loan on a house, even though I have no income, and hopefully I make a cash flow using these strategies. That's not a good idea. It works for people, but it's not a good idea. It's not certain enough. It's not certain enough, guys. I'm trying to make you guys independent thinkers. I'm trying to make you guys stand on your own 2 feet and be successful. To not get tricked into the hype of a lot of things that are presented to us in media. Listen to me. You have to understand. Guys, you have to understand. I really, really want someone to listen to me. This would change your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would change your life. I did a lot of stuff wrong. I had $200,000 in student loan debt because, I had more like 85 plus, like roughly 85, 90. My wife had another roughly 95, 100. And together we had 200K, but we had to pay it all off. Okay, so that's why I say I had 200K in student loan debt. But guys, listen to me. When I tell you I paid all of that off in the first year and a half, no more than 2 years. You get what I'm saying? I got out of engineering school at 23, so that put me at 25 at that point. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I didn't even know what career path I wanted for the first 2 years of school. So I got out of engineering school in 3 years. I was taking a crazy amount of hours. It was stressful. It was hard. But I was on this path and I knew it was guaranteed, man. I knew the market needed me, man. I knew the market needed me. I knew that I was in demand and I was high value if I could just finish. And that was my only goal. And it proved to be correct. And everyone who followed a similar path had a great amount of success. So at 23, and I'm 28 now, 5 years from that age, I really paid off the loans at like 22 something. So from 22 to 28, I became a millionaire at 28 years old. Okay? 28. Guaranteed. As I accumulated money, I started putting money in the S&P 500. I started putting money in stocks. I started buying properties like you're going to see on my channel. Okay? But guys, you have to understand that it doesn't take rocket science. It doesn't take a miracle. If you want $1 million, guys, you don't have to do anything amazing but be in a high demand field, a high value field. That's how you make $1 million. Everything else, everyone's been manipulating. Everyone's doing some weird, I don't know, some sorcery stuff. I don't know what's going on, because $1 million, I know people joining startups and risking everything when they don't even have skills, because they want to be millionaires, when being millionaires is guaranteed and trivial if you just meet the market's demand. You know, so please listen to me. I'm not a selfish person. I want to see other people benefit from this information. And With that being said, guys, I hope I help someone, man. I hope you listen. Give me a comment, man. Are you following me? Am I making sense? What are the roadblocks with what I'm saying? Is it unrealistic? Do you think it's BS? Would you rather do something else? I'm curious because to watch, I've never been around millionaires. I haven't known millionaires. I literally I solely just wanted to do something guaranteed instead of a lot of this speculative stuff that I felt other people did. And I just marched right to $1 million. It took a hard work, but what is going to college, man? How difficult is that, man? I've had ancestors work all of their life just to be slaves. Like, you telling me I can go to college and learn a high demand skill and go earn a great living and be rewarded for my work? And I can use that to invest myself into wealth and riches. And I'm going to say it's hard because of college. You know what I'm saying? That's just totally ungrateful. And it would be quite embarrassing to say, honestly. So with that being said, listen to me, man. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, man. Let me know what you're thinking. Holla back, man. Love you guys. Peace.